Namaste, I am Bhoj Chhantyal, a student of MPhil second semester from Nepal Open University, winter session 2075. Um, and today I am going to present this short video as a part of assignment and translation studies. And my topic is exploring the boundaries of transcreation in specialized translation. And this is written by Viviana Gavallo, University of Makarata, Italy, and is about redefining transcreation. Transcreation is a concept used in the field of translation studies to describe the process of adapting a message from one language to another while maintaining its intent, style, tone, and context. Transcreators are granted greater creative license than simple translators because of translation. Because translation sounds like commodity and transcription sounds like a service. In the words of Alan Mack, transcreation means a creative translation. In other words, translating sales, copies, process slogans, etc., so that they are as effective in the target language as in the source language. The result must sell a brand, product, service, or idea effectively to the target audience. Okay, let's see some examples of um, advertisement which are from different which are in different languages, but the advertisement of the product is same.
Good morning. Did you sleep well? Oh, your diaper's heavy and it might leak. Switch to Mammy Poco Pants Extra Absorb. Good morning. अच्छे से सोए? ओह, तुम्हारा डायपर हेवी हो गया है और वो लीक कर सकता है। अब से पहनो Mammy Poco Pants Extra Absorb।
पिछली बार मैं शिखर तक नहीं पहुंच पाया था, बॉडी भी पैरालाइज हो गई थी। अब फिर शिखर बुला रहा है। इस बार भी वापस जाने के 100 कारण हैं, पर आगे जाने का सिर्फ एक। तो हिम्मत उठा, ढूंढ ला।
यो भन्दा अगाडि म शिखरसम्म पुग्न सकिन। शरीर नै प्यारालाइज भएको थियो, तर फेरि शिखरले बोलाइरहेछ। यो पालि पनि फर्किने सयौं कारणहरू छन्, तर अगाडि बढ्न मात्र एक। त्यसैले हिम्मत उठा।
In this advertisement of videos, the style, tone, and context seems similar, but they are in different languages. But the product or the things is same. Okay, let's see some differences between translation and transcreation. Translation, it is word for word translation, but the transcreation tries to adopt different things or various things from the source text to the target text, and translation is literal in nature, and transcreation is free. In translation, the translator tries to translate faithfully, but the transcreator tries to translate idiomatically. Semantic in nature, that means that translation tries to maintain the semantic aspect of the text, source text to target text, but the transcreator tries to communicate the message from the source text to target text. There are various terms which are related to transcreation, and one of them is adaptation. Transcreation has often been equated to adaptation. We should therefore take a close look at both concepts. The term usually implies that considerable changes have been made in order to make the text more suitable for a specific audience, as for example, children, or for the particular purpose behind the translation. Okay, it is from the Monday 2009. Monila and Utada LV 2002 defined interpretation as a translation technique to replace source text cultural element with one from the target culture and for example change the baseball for football in translation into Spanish. Adaptation is identified as a freest form of translation mainly used when translating plays or poetry with themes, characters, plot left unchanged. The source culture converted to the target culture and the text rewritten. Adaptation denotes that mm, target text that draws and source text which have extremely modified it for new cultural context. As per example, the costume of uh, wedding in English or in Christian cultures, their white gown, and but when translating those things into Nepali, the wedding costume is uh, generally a red sari and like that. And while translating the festivals from English to Nepali, they celebrate the Christmas, but we can translate them as a Deepavali, Dasai like that. That is another concept, transcreation and productivity. In Black 2003, or productivity is defined as a possibility of creating a new role and statistical readiness with an element enters into the new combinations. And the notion of productivity must make a reference to the speaker's ability to form a new words and the conditions that language system impose on new words. Is for example, at present and the lockdown in English. Now Nepali word is created as bandabandi. It is quite new word. So it is the transcription of the new uh, word. So the translation can be done with the productivity. It is only possible in transcreation. The process can be productive while and to the extent it is used in the queries of new forms. It is regularly and actively used in the creation of totally new words. Okay, there is another concept in transcreation, co-drafting. The second term that deserves clarification is co-drafting. In the process of co-drafting, target culture-oriented quadrant is justified by the nature of the actively involved, that is, drafting two language versions of the text. They can be legal, commercial, gaming, etc. At the same time, by using a team of two drafters, whom is responsible for the first language version while the other is responsible for the second language version. In co-drafting, neither person is a translation of the other. As a result of working together, the two drafters often prompt each other to change or improve their versions based on their sound understanding of four languages. The focus is less on the language themselves than on the cultural filters to be applied. Co-drafting is now a well-established practice, especially in bilingual or trilingual countries such as Canada or Switzerland, where more than two languages are spoken. Okay, the conclusion is the transcreation is the combination of tools, translation and creation. So transcreation can be in intra or interlingual reinterpretation of the original work. As for example, intralingual translation means the translation within the same language. That is the Bhanubhakta Ramayana. As for example, the Bhanubhakta Ramayana can be translated into Pidgin Nepali language. And interlingual means that is translating from the one language to another. As for example, the English drama of Shakespeare can be translated into Nepali. So it is a reinterpretation of the original work suited to the reader's audience of the target language, which requires the translator to come up with new conceptual, linguistic, and cultural constructs to make up for the lack. That's inadequacy of existing ones. It can look at strategy to overcome the limits of untransability, but in fact it is a holistic approach in which all possible strategies, methods, and techniques can be used. As for example, some proverbs are like Nepali, नाच्न जान्ने आँगन टेढो. Okay, if we translate it from word to word, it doesn't make any sense in English, but there can be the similar type of proverb while translating in English. As for example, a bad workman always quarrels with his instrument, like that. It requires fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. It requires the translator not only to conceive new words but also to imagine new roles as well. Okay, thank you. This is the end of my video presentation.